अब ना एक काम करो, इसमें देखो जरा और मेरे को बताओ कि क्या नाम है, कैमरा कितना कहाँ करना है।
कैमरा राइट पे करो,
राइट पे, हाँ
थोड़ा सा और, बस परफेक्ट। नहीं, थोड़ा लेफ्ट पे, ज्यादा हो गया।
थोड़ा सा, बिल्कुल
थोड़ा सा
थोड़ा
और,
जूम आउट,
नहीं थोड़ा सा और,
थोड़ा
सा
जूम,
और,
सही है।
लेफ्ट थोड़ा सा और, ऑलमोस्ट ठीक है। असल में राइट पे ज्यादा वो दूर है ना, लेफ्ट
हाँ
पे
नहीं,
कहीं
अरे
पे।
ऐसे ही ठीक है, फिर क्या नाम है, सारा दिखाई देता है ना इधर का। थोड़ा जूम आउट भी कर दो ना, इससे ज़्यादा जूम आउट नहीं होगा।
नहीं ठीक है, इतना इतना ठीक है। थोड़ा सा लेफ्ट पे कर दो, ये ज्यादा करीब है, लोग करीब ले नजर आ जाएंगे ना, बस परफेक्ट। Okay, hello and welcome to the first final of HCL 2020 Div1. So HCC is facing off against Titans. Earlier today, Titan defended their Div2 championship by winning the first final. That was between Avengers and Titans.
टॉस पता नहीं कौन जीता। फाइन ताजी भाई, टॉस कौन जीता?
स्कोर साथ बैठे हुए यार।
टॉस? Titans won the toss. Titans won the toss. So it's on. Hey, the other thing is when we are talking, don't tap that gauge, right? Yeah, it's on right now. Put that. No, it's fine. They can't hear you too far from the mic.
So we start with a no ball. Titans won the toss and they elected to field.
That's what it is, right? Yeah, we want people to enjoy, right? That's what it is. Yeah.
Grant is opening for HCC. Grant has been in really good form this season.
Second ball goes for a wide. Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Abdul and I am joined by Khurram Bhai right here.
and we will have the pleasure of commentating this game. If you didn't know, Titans just won the Division 2 Cup, and I believe the majority of the squad is playing their second match, just like yesterday. So, a factor to note in mind. Ooh, solid first ball, flies past the bas.
That was a bit of a heave across the line. Not very typical of Grant. Plays pretty patiently, sets himself up for a longer innings. Surfaroz is bowling. It's nice fielding at point.
Surfroz goes fuller this time. Surfroz has bowled really, really well throughout yesterday and today. He's the man in form, been getting the key wickets for Titans. And everyone in the chat, please give us your predictions to start off. Who's going to win this game? Remember, this is a three-match series, so whoever wins or loses the first game, that's not it. Grant goes down the ground, fielder coming underneath it, and nowhere. That clears. Great six by Grant. We saw him earlier trying to heave the ball, but this time he gets it on the bat and it goes all the way. Let's see what they try to do here since Titans are the team that is in form, but let's see. They have lost only three matches in the Division 1. Shadab, best of luck. You have to win. I will let Shadab Bhai know about this. Priyank Shah saying Titans will win. Good prediction.
Yeah, Titans have somehow managed to make it pretty close in the last two matches. So yesterday in the Div1 final, they were chasing 106 odd, and it went down to the last over. In the morning today, in the Div 2 match, they were strolling to victory when Danny and the set batsman Harsha. So both set batsmen got out, and they made it pretty close, but eventually won in the last over. Well left by Grant, a rare leave, I'd say, in a T20.
Decent first over so far. Nothing too extreme. 9 of 4 balls. Fuller ball goes down the ground again. Fielder coming and fielded well in the end just for a single. Kurumbai, what can you tell us about this new batsman on strike?
Daksh? Wow, that's well, he's one of the premier HCC batsmen. He scored pretty well, pretty heavily in this season. He's also a leg spinner. Let's see what he does. Normally, the first few balls, normally the first few few balls tell us how the batsman is going to approach his innings. So that was a cautious start from Daksh. Just played it down the ground for a single. Grant seems to be in an aggressive mode. So somebody's asking how's the weather. Weather's pretty nice. It was sunny, but now there's no sun anymore. Durma is going to start the second over, and I'm joined at the commentary by Amit.
Ducks taking his guard against looks like the bowler is Drona. Um, Great opportunity for him to show his skills in Div 1. I think Drona was the one of the premier bowlers in Div 2. Bowled really well with the new ball. You can see him shining the ball. It's an indication that he likes to swing the ball. Um, from his action, I can tell he's one of those outswing bowlers who bowls like right on the stump and gets the ball to swing out. Will be interesting to see how Daksh approaches this.
Yeah, the Titan bowlers have been bowling pretty well. We've seen two low-scoring matches, so they started really well in the last two matches. Really restricted the teams by taking early wickets. Let's see how they do. Nice bowling on the good length, blocked by Daksh.
Yeah, Daksh is a technically correct batsman. He seen him bat for so many years for the provincial team. He's a batsman who waits for the short ball. Very good puller of the ball. Anything short, it's going. But again, it's the pitch has changed. As we know, we have seen the low scoring games in recent times. Uh, so the run scoring has become difficult in last few weeks. Uh, with that said, you never know. It's a big final. Teams are pumped up. There's a huge advantage to Cannons in playing the finals direct versus playing in from basically winning the semi and then playing Div 2 finals. A lot of these players have played 3 games in a row now. There's fatigue factor in there too. That's why I always say team that actually plays the finals directly is always has such a big advantage. Uh, Part of that ECC squad last year that actually were table toppers and played the finals made such a difference coming into the game fresh. No fatigue, no tiredness. You're just looking forward to the finals, knowing that you are the best team in the in the league phases. Just big advantage, and you can see that from the start that Cannons have just done. 14 for no loss after 1.3. Uh, Looks like there's a discussion going on between Kiran and Titans captain Nandu. Uh, it gives me a feeling it's something related to his action. Uh, so I'm not sure what's being discussed here, but I think looks like to me a first warning to the bowler and also to the captain that he might be having a suspect action. Needless to say, Kiran and Neil, two of our most experienced umpires, both are also provincial players that actually played in PEI again, in the Maritime Cup. Uh, Priyank's asking how's the weather. Uh, the weather he knows it very well. Being in Halifax, it's nice and sunny, 25 degrees, perfect weather to play the finals. Unfortunately, his team ECC is not there, so he won't. He's not able to enjoy that weather.
And it's also perfect weather to come down to the ground and watch the final. We have some excellent players playing some good cricket. So if you are around, please feel free to come and watch the final with us.
Uh, PV Reddy is saying, "Come on, Drona." So with that said, hopefully he heard me, and the next ball is gonna be a dart right on the stump. With that said, I mean, Cannons are off to a decent start here. They're nudging the ball here, getting runs through some extras. There's a big six that's been hit by Grant. Um, Next ball, and Drona bowls a Drona. He bowls a drone right on the stumps in the middle stump and knocks Grant's stump off. That is first wicket down for Cannons. Beautiful Yorker, completely stunned. Grant walks back in a big disappointment for him after such a good season. He is today only able to manage, I think, 11. Uh,
Yeah, that's a big wicket for Titans because Grant is the man in form. He scored heavily throughout the season, and he seemed to be in a good touch. That six he hit was a really good middle towards the long off boundary. So he cleared the boundary with ease.
Andrew Irving. Uh, an ex-provincial player, also a current vice president of NSCA and one of the club founders of Halifax Cannon, walks into the crease, one down. Um, he is just recovering from a shoulder injury. While catching the ball a few weeks ago, he injured his shoulder and was out of action for 3 weeks. Needless to say, with Cannons doing so well, his batting was not required, with them being the table toppers. However, this is a big final, and Andrew's experience will be required for them to put a good total here on the board. Andy comes from Australia, as we know, as we actually call him, and he plays proper cricket. He's a straight bat player, nudges the ball around, runs hard, gets his boundaries and stuff. A very typical Australian batsman who, again, very fit player as well. He sets very high standards on the field with his fielding and his fitness in general. Uh, and so after the end of second over, I believe, sorry, the scores are not refreshing here. I think there's 17 for one after the end of 2 overs.
It's been relatively quiet from the batting side after the first six. Uh, let's see. Daksh is going to face now Surferos. A somewhat cautious start by HCC, especially after losing Grant. They would be looking to consolidate probably for the first 2 or 3 overs, for the next 2 or 3 overs. And if they don't lose a wicket, I suspect, then that is when Daksh will start going after the bowling.
There comes Sarfarosh to Daksh. This will be an interesting battle. Beautiful ball outside off stump, swinging away. Daksh leaves it alone. We don't see that in T20, but that's a big what do you say? Uh, Kudos to Sarfarosh for his line in this year. He's been bowling phenomenal. He's been one bowler who's consistently taken wickets of top order batsmen, including, you know, all top ECC batsmen. He's troubled every top order batsman with his swing. Whoa, that was a shot up in the air right between the point and the covers fielder for a single, risky shot. But that's what Surfrose does. He creates those opportunities by bowling a very nagging line outside off, and that's all new ball bowling is all about. Is creating those chances early. He bowls that slow outside off stump too, so you have to hit the ball hard. The ball doesn't come to you; you have to reach out. Often lets the batsman make errors, and it will be interesting here to see how Andrew tackles him. Andrew's a very good cutter and puller of the ball, so it will be interesting. There you go. Talking that he cuts one right to the point where Harsha feels it, and it's a dot ball. But you can already see batsmen trying to hit the ball hard and the ball not coming on to the bat. And that's been happening for last 2 or 3 weeks, just with a lot of moisture around in the ground, a lot of dew in the morning, and a general mild weather that we are having lately is a reason for those. Uh, when the season starts early in June, we have a couple of weeks very similar to this, and by the time it's like Devnarayan Cup or like July, it's really hot weather and the ball comes on nicely. The outfield is dry. That's you see a lot of high scoring games. But now we are back in October where this doesn't happen. The ball slows down. You know, and the other thing is also to realize is the bowlers know their line and length in pressure games, so they try to contain the batsman. They get it right. You know, so it makes a difference as we're not seeing a whole lot of big scores.
Yeah, the bowling has been pretty tight so far, and we've seen in previous matches as well. The ball swings a lot in the initial overs, and the first 6 to 8 overs, the ball is swinging, and the bowlers have been taking full advantage of that, and that's probably one of the reasons why we've been having a few low scores. There was another good over by Surferos. It's 19 for one after three. So HCC made a brisk start in the first over, but they've quietened down a little after the fall of Grant's wicket. And also the bowling has been pretty spot on. The fielding has been tight. They're a good bowling unit, and they have been improving a lot over the season.
Yeah, I was hoping to see Satya open the bowling. He did a fantastic job yesterday against ECC in the semi-final game. Bowled a very good line outside off. Didn't give any room, but maybe there's a different ploy today. Maybe they want to bring him after the power play to contain the batsman. It will be interesting to see. Uh, I like the looks of Drona, like the first ball that he bowled to Grant and knocked his stump off. That was a beauty. Oh, that's another good ball, but nicely cut by Andrew. And a call for a single, which was turned away, and Andrew goes for a misfield, but it's been turned away by Daksh again. So that turned out to be a dot ball. Daksh is now talking with Andy and saying he's a good fielder there. He got a good arm. I'm watching him. It was a risky run. Let's not do that. Um, and Drona is back in his stride. Second ball. Again, Andrew cuts it right back at Harsha again. And you could hear the Avengers team here screaming out loud saying that's such a good line, keep it there. They want to keep that line all day there. Obviously, if a bowler can do that, he'll be playing at a different level, as you know. But there you go, an overpitch ball outside off. Andrew cuts it. It's heading towards the boundary, and the slow outfield doesn't go to the boundary, and that's trying for the third run. However, Sri is able to get to the field and throw the ball back. So that makes the total 21 after the loss of one wicket after 3.3. So a slow start, but a steady start, I would say. Remember the low scoring games. Last few games have been low scoring. Like even in the finals, Div 2 were chased in 19th over. Without losing any wicket. Another good ball outside off. Good nagging line outside off. We call it like the McGrath zone outside off, and nice bounce that moves away. Very hard to hit those balls. And if you do get it, you either nick it or you hit it straight to the point. So there you go. Another good ball, another tight ball right on the stumps. Andrew defensive nicely.
Yeah, this is where Titans have been really good. In the previous match as well, in the Div 2 final, they started with a wayward over. They bowled about 7 or 8 wides in the first over, but they came back really strongly in the next 5 or 6 overs, and they really restricted the Avengers team. And that actually takes its toll. That was a nice ball, but Andy scrambles through for a single. So looks like Titans have been pushing it back now for the last few overs, and it's uh, HCC haven't been able to really get away with it. It's 21 for the loss of one wicket.
I'm seeing in the comments here that the voice is not clear. Can you please confirm is what the issue is? Is it clear now? If someone can please put that in the chat, would be appreciated. I also see a note here from Banu Prasad Reddy that you're backing Anil's team to win easy. Yeah, we are all cheering for Titans here as well. They've played amazing cricket till now. Div 2 champions back to back, and they won the first final going on. They're definitely off to a good start here. So thanks for following us, and thanks for your comment there. Yeah, if you can please comment and let us know if there are still issues over the voice. That would be great. We now see Sarfroz back in for the third over. So bowling to Andrew, and Andrew actually just drops it right on the off stump, and that's a dot ball. Nice pressure being put. Nice pressure being put there by Titans. And look at the cannon support here. Wow, they have a full-blown support here. Wives, they actually have a barbecue going on there. Oh, and that's a catch opportunity there. Straight catch to Satya, who drops a sitter. Oh, that is a big drop there. I believe that was Satya there, who got a straightforward chance from Andrew and was dropped. So a drop chance already there takes Titans to 23 for the loss of first wicket. Surfroz again doing what he does right. Outside off, bowling a nagging length, causing a lot of problems to Cannon's batsmen to score. There he is again, bowls it to Dutch, who hits a punching cover drive right over covers, but only a single there. As Satya actually runs around, Hardeep backing him up there. And they're only able to take one run. Not yet gonna. Okay. Priyank is saying there is clear voice. I see. I think it is pronounced Masarat. It's saying not clear yet. Gonna double sound came. Um, yeah. So we do have a headphone here that we are sharing between two commentators. So sometimes the voice is not that clear. क्या ला रहे हो? Just a coffee. Sorry, my fellow commentator just asked for a coffee and I could say no. However, yeah, sorry, the voice problem is mostly based on us sharing the headphones. I hope it's clear enough. That's they making a beautiful cut there. Very nicely fielded by Harsha, but all he couldn't save the single there. Throws it back to the uh, keeper Anil. And after the end of 4 overs, I believe, or five, 26 for one. Definitely off to a slow start here, but
So that's a really nice shot by Dutch. That's four. And an aggressive start to this over. The runner has been bowling well so far, but this was pitched up and Dutch decided to go for it. He's taking advantage of the first 6 overs. All the field is up. It was a cracking shot. You really can't bowl there to Dutch. He will take advantage of any over pitch or any short ball most of the time. And that was a full toss. And it got the full treatment it deserved. It's six from Dutch. That's over the mid-wicket boundary for a huge six. Dutch showing a lot of aggression in this over, and they really needed it because this is the last over of the power play, and HCC were really on the back foot after the fall of that wicket. But that dropped catch in the last over that could prove costly. That was of Andrew. So Andrew was dropped on the long off boundary. So two bad balls in a row by Drona, very uncharacteristic of him. But Dutch took full advantage of that. And the score is now up to 36 for 1. Taking a time, setting their field. Amit has just reminded me that it's his bat that Dutch is using. And, and we can see the effects of using that bat. When you hit the ball properly, it goes far. So that's another single to mid off by Daksh, and he will face the next ball. It was cloudy for a moment, but now it's again nice and sunny. For those of you who are still interested in the weather, that was outside the off stump, and Andrew went for a cut but missed it completely. Rona can generate some pace when he put some effort into the ball, and that was a really nice ball outside the off stump. That's been hit well by Eddie, and that's going towards the boundary, but nicely fielded at the boundary. And a nice throw in just restricts them to two. Good shot though. Again, it was a bit overpitched, but a very nice shot by Andrew. It's a little difficult to play balls that are outside the off stump at a good length, but this was a good shot by Andy, and that's he slashes at it again, and it's going to the point boundary this time for a four. So that's been a really costly over for Titans, a really good over for Halifax CC. Uh, 39? So it's 43 now for one after the power play. So the power play is done, 6 overs gone. That was a very good over for Halifax CC, and they brought this run rate to a bit over 7 runs in over now. That's a pretty decent score in a power play, and the good thing is they've lost only 1 wicket so far. Uh, there was a one catch that was dropped. It might prove to be expensive for Titans. We have to wait and see. So, viewers, what in your opinion would be a good score for Halifax CC? What do you think their first inning score would be? So please type in your guesses for the first inning score, and we'll see who gets it right. So power play is done. Now we have fielders outside the circle, and we have Satya now coming into ball to Daksh. And that was a tentative push, and on a wide delivery by Satya. So the first ball is wide actually. So that's why Daksh first thought to slash at it, but then seeing that it was a wideish ball, he hesitated a bit and missed it completely. It's nicely bowled, but well played by Daksh. Single to long off.
Thank you, Kurambai. Second ball of Satya to Andrew. Andrew tries to cut and gets beaten. He's squared up in that ball. That was a good, what we call as a Satya special. Satya, a previous provincial bowler, played a bowled an amazing spell in St. John's, Newfoundland in the finals when we beat Quebec. Remember him from those days. He used to bowl a lot faster those days. He still bowls fast, but I guess he's shortened his run up now. And that one was pulled there, almost going to the boundary. I believe Sandeep's going and chasing it. He stops it, or the ball stops, I should say. And they run actually 3 runs. Wow. So when I talked about fresh legs and playing a fresh game, this is what you can do when you have fresh legs and you're coming in to just play one final game. They took 3 runs there, and Daksh is now back in strike. And Satya is trying to set his field again, asking Nandu to move that fielder towards mid wicket. So there may be a short ball ploy here. We'll have to wait and see. And that ball is nicely cut again for a single. Very smart cricket by Cannons here as they're approaching their 50 mark. I believe they're 49 for 1 after 6.3. This is now a good start after that Rona over. Andrew's looking in good touch too, and that's a good slower ball right there. That's, that's experience showing right there. Beautiful outside off ball that cut through, goes right over the stump. Batsman wants to drive, but he's not able to. Wants to cut. Same thing. It's hard. And by the time ball goes through. Next ball is short again. Andrew. Oh! Andrew hits it back to Satya. Chance for Coran Bowl. Good attempt, but drops it. And they sneak in a single. I believe that's 50 for Cannons after the end of 7 overs. Cannons fielders running in the field there with Water, Sagar and Dhruv. Dutch, who also was our provincial coach this year, took it over from Rees. He's screaming at him and saying, "There's less time, run, run, run." With that said, clouds have come over now. I believe there's no chances of rain here today. However, the clouds keep coming in and makes things interesting. Nandu setting his field, brings in one of the most experienced bowlers we have in the league, Sri Krishna. Sri, as we all call him by, is a very deceiving bowler. He bowls slow. He has 4 or 5 varieties. Every year he comes and he tells me that he's added a new ball, a new weapon to his arsenal. So very deceiving bowler. Every game you expect Sri to take 2 to 3 wickets. He's just one of those bowlers who will bowl a slow outside off stump bowl, and he wants the batsman to hit, and he never stays off the stumps. If you miss, he hits. So there you go. First ball, short ball. Ooh, nicely cut by Andrew for a single. Sri is also currently a leading wicket taker in Division 1 with 21 wickets from 13 games, and at a very decent economy in a T20. Just goes to show his experience. Economy of 6 in a T20 for a slow off spinner. So you can just imagine how well he has bowled. Although Titans are really hoping that he comes and gives them a breakthrough, because this is looking like a decent recovery by Cannons after a slow start. As you can see, Cannons have nicely tapped for 2 singles in 2 balls. I think that is probably the strategy that they're gonna do it against Sri, who's again very lethal, and takes wicket. That's a dot ball there on the cover. Ball slow, outside off, coming in. All Andrew could do was cut straight to the fielder. It's a dot ball. And the thing with Sri is he doesn't give you too much time to get ready. He bowls a dot ball and will be ready to bowl the next ball. So you don't have too much time to think about it. On the leg stump appeals, and they sneak in a leg by there. You can see Cannons getting up for a barbecue there. I heard the Cannons camp is working on a barbecue, and Matt Lee is the grill man there. I can see him in grill, already working his grill. I'm sure he's got a beer in his hand too. Um, Sunny helping him there. Sunny obviously very disappointed to miss out on the finals with an injured finger, the broken stitched finger. And that was a good drive there by Dutch, outside off, straight to Hardeep for a single. After the end of 8 overs, Cannons are 54 for the loss of 1 wicket. I can hear Kazi saying here, our fellow commentator, that as soon as it gets a little cloudy, it gets cold. I'm feeling it too. Although I've promised Kiran, who's the umpire, in today's game that I won't wear my jacket because I told him it's not cold, and I also want him not to wear the jacket. Satya is back there, and that was like a hit or a miss outside off. That's tried to drive but misses it. Satya using his experience, bowling outside off in a very good line and a length which is hard to hit. That's getting ready, taking his time. Satya is back in action again and bowls an overpitch ball which is nicely driven through the covers for a single. As you can see, the outfield it's really slow this time of the year. The ball doesn't travel. Um, Andrew hits a beautiful flick, almost like a, and they steal two there. The ball went so high, we all thought it might hit the boundary, and Andrew is looking good today. Coming back from the injury, he's already at 17, and he's looking good today. Nudging and oh, that's a no ball off the pitch, off track there. It's a beautiful ball right on the middle stump and knocks off Andrew's stumps. Andrew tried to slot that on the leg, misses it completely, and knocks off his middle stump. Good comeback by Satya there, showing his experience. No better sight for a fast bowler when you see the middle stump being knocked off and the batsman walking back. With that, a new player from Cannons, Glenn, who made his entry into the team this year, walks in. I believe Glenn's from South Africa. He was in England before coming into Halifax, and now plays for the Cannons. He started with the Div2 team, but quickly moved up to the ranks into the Div1, and he's going in at a very crucial time where as a batsman, you don't know whether you want to go and start hitting boundaries or you want to nudge a few singles. It's going in at a very interesting time where also another batsman is already set. Like Dutch is already playing there at 24. So, radio, sorry, they are asking balls to go. Timur Shah just puts a comment there saying nice bowling. Yes, bowling has been pretty decent so far. The score you would say is, it's around 5-6 and over. Right now, the run rate, little over 6, I would say maybe. So it will be interesting how Glenn plays now. First ball, very nicely defended by Glenn. It's a good ball outside off stump, moving in. All Glenn could do is defend it back. Dutch is looking at him, and they're probably after the over saying they're probably gonna be talking about what the next plan would be. As a batting team, you wanna bank on those quick partnerships in the middle over to get a good score. That's outside off and beaten. Tried to cut and is beaten. So after the end of 9 overs, Cannons is 58 for the loss of 2 wickets. The 2 wickets lost were Grant, who was out for 11, clean bowled by Drona. The second batsman to be out was Andrew in last over, bowled by none other than the friendly anaconda, also known as Sapya, the friendly anaconda. That's what we call him. And why his name is anaconda, I don't think there are enough details that I will be able to provide in a live stream, but the provincial team fondly used to call him anaconda for various reasons. but mostly for his bowling, the line and length that he bowls, and he cuts the ball like a snake. I think that was one of the main reasons why that was there. Now we got Sri back in here to Daksh. Sri bowls a ball pretty much outside the pitch, I guess, and it cuts in, and it's been given a no ball. So that's an extra run there off the pitch. Daksh smashed that ball in the cover, but was only able to get a run, and immediately asked the umpire whether that was pitch out. So if you guys ever wonder why we call that a no ball, is because we have a narrow pitch here at the Commons, and anything that's pitched outside the pitch, we call it a no ball. So that brings Glenn to the strike against Sri. Uh, another ball outside off and slow, cuts through, and is a dot ball. Sri putting good pressure here. He's on to his second over and he's only given 5 runs. That's what Sri does. He's just a slow killer. That's a good tap and a good shot there. And Akash is not able to feel that. Gets a bad bounce, and that's a much needed boundary there for Cannons. If there was a fielder with a bigger height, would have been able to stop. Unfortunately, the ball got bad bounce, and the ball went right over him into the diamond, and that was crunched. So Nandu trying to change the field here. Uh, and he's asking Satya to move towards more mid-wicketish and setting the field back up there now. Um, Another full toss. Glenn hits it to mid-wicket straight to Akash, who fields it, throws it back for a good single. Brings Daksh to strike. Daksh is cleaning the pitch. In the meantime, Sandeep runs away from short square to the point region. So you expect Sri to bowl slow and outside off this ball. And as predicted, that's exactly what he does. And ball goes straight to Sarfroz, who fields it and gives it back. So bowler, this is an example of bowler bowling, setting a field and bowling to his plan. A captain's delight. That's what we call it. When you set a field and you bowl to the plan, that's what Sri does. And that's why he's a leading wicket taker. He bowls another ball straight outside off, which goes straight to Nandu. So two dot balls there to already set batsmen. Excellent bowling there by Sri. Putting in good pressure, and after the almost 2 overs, he's just given away 10 runs. You know, last ball, punched through the offside just for a single, but it's just the sound of the bat. Sounds great. Must be, must be a batsman's bat. So after the end of 10 overs, we are 66 for the loss of 2 wickets. Uh, we'd like to know what your predictions are for the score here. The chat has gone kind of dead here. I hope you're watching the live streaming. We are bringing you, and really hoping we are able to engage you in a chat here. So we would like to see what you think would be a fair score here, and what Titan should be or Canon should be looking at here in making, and Titan should be looking to defend here. I've been told anything over, and I'm played myself in a semi-final game. Scoring is not easy. Anything over 130, 140 is very easily defendable here, just because of the slow outfield and the nature of the wicket. The ball doesn't come on nicely once it's past 6 overs, and if you take your catches and if you field well, you are able to defend a score of 140. So with that, there's a change of bowling. Young Akash comes in to bowl to Daksh. Um, Akash has been a great find for Titans. He's bowled a very, very good line and length, and I believe he's one of the top wicket takers as well. I'm pretty sure he's one of the top 10 wicket takers in the league right now. Plays for both divisions. Uh, you know, Played in the Div 2 finals as well and bowled well. Bowls with the new ball as well. Comes back as a couple of change bowler as well. Very versatile bowler. Great in the field. Beautifully punched by Glenn to mid wicket, straight in the hands of Sandeep, who makes a good throw. Um, Akash is currently ranked 11th in Div1. So, and overall, after 18 matches, he's only given 115 runs and taken 20 wickets. So, oh, and they're sneaking in a second here. Good cricket by Cannons there. Daksh, after hitting the first ball straight to the fielder this time, played it with soft hands. So the fielder had to run all the way from the boundary, which allowed them to take 2 runs. Very smart cricket there by Daksh, who's showing his experience there at, in a big game. So Daksh had a phenomenal season this year, even at the provincial level. He was one of our premier bowlers and really batted well too in a couple of games. So, I think Cannons will be banking on his experience to bat through and, you know, give them basically give them the platform then to come back and defend that score. Daksh is currently a fifth rank, and not far from taking the top spot. He's only about 42 runs away, and this game is currently being on, so those scores are not counted. So in the table charts, uh, oh, that's a misfield there by Shri, who was slow in moving, and they sneak in two there in after the cut. So with the table charts, I see Daksh at currently at 310 and 16 wickets. So he's the fifth ranked batsman currently going into the final and the fifth top ranked bowler. Really good all round performance there. And you know one of the key players not only for the provincial team but also for the Cannons, which is helping the cause here for them. 74 for 2 after 11 overs, and Daksh is now at I think 30. So I think he's about 13 runs shy of being the leading run scorer in the league, and who he will be taking over from yours truly. With that, I would like to hand over the commentary to Khurram Bhai.
Thank you very much, Amit. So that's the no ball. Free hit coming up. So Sri continuing with his bowling. The first ball again was a rare no ball by a spinner. Off spinners normally don't ball no balls. So this was a rare no ball from Sri. Free hit coming up. And Daksh came forward to and gave a big swing, but he actually missed it. He made it into a full toss, but the ball actually took the toe off his bat. Didn't go far. He would have liked it to fly much higher from where it really did go. So far, he's been batting really well. That was a nice controlled ball from Shri. Cut away by Daksh, and they are scrambling back for a second. A bit of a misfield by Danny. Uh, Danny has been playing this is his third continuous match. Fourth continuous match. Yeah, he played two yesterday, so that might be showing. And he played some amazing innings. Yesterday, he scored a 70 odd to lead his side to victory in the Div 2 semifinals, the playoffs. And today, he scored another 50 odd. That was nicely bowled by Shri. Daksh was beaten all ends up. apart from the first ball of this over, Shri has been bowling a really tight liner length. That's another good ball from Shri. Well fielded by Gino. That's another good ball. Daksh tried to go for broke there.
We have a new commentator here who's gonna join us soon. Ex-president of NSCA,
Yeah,
who's just stepping away, but he's gonna be coming back soon. Tushar Sehgal. We're gonna have him soon in the commentary box. That is, that's an appeal for an LBW by Shri, and it's been given out by the umpire. So Cannons lose their third wicket, and we now see Fahim walking in there. But Glenn, you can see, is really disappointed here with his shot. Tried to sweep the slow ball that hit right on the middle and was straight in front of the stumps and was given LB. Glenn walking back in, in despise. He's not happy, obviously, with that shot that he took. And as I said, you miss and Shri hits. That's how Shri takes his wickets. He bowls straight, he bowls slow, and if you miss, you're either bowled or you're LB. And this time it was LB for Glenn, walking in huge disappointment. With that, Fahim walks in. He's talking with Daksh now as to what the game plan would be. Fahim, also a former provincial player, last few years. He couldn't find his way into the provincial team, but still is a very important member of the Cannon squad, a very passionate cricketer who carries around 10 to 12 bats in his kit. He's our bat guy. If you ever need a bat, you go and ask Fahim. He will have one for you. And there is not a brand out there that he hasn't owned yet. Loves his bats and loves his equipment. Very passionate cricketer. Interesting phase of the game here, fellows. After the end of 12 overs, oh, Daksh pulls that to the square leg region. Sandeep running and trying to stop the ball. There is some serious fatigue here. You can see in some of the Titans players who are playing their fourth game. Right, as you know, the Div 2 players played the Div 2 semis and finals. The non-restricted players were able to do that, and now they're playing the Div 1 finals as well. So Daksh is nearing, sorry, Daksh is at 34. Looks in good touch. If he bats through, you'll be looking at a good score here. But Akash is a very smart bowler. Oh, bowls a good ball outside off, and Daksh is beaten. That was a good ball outside off. You can see a little bit of frustration there in Daksh's batting now. As you see, the ball is not coming onto the bat nicely, and that's been happening. So, oh, that was another good ball, but cut nicely by Daksh, and I think they sneak in two there. So, a very interesting phase of the game. This is where games are actually, this is the difference between a team that will play well now and take the score to 140 versus a team that will start losing wickets and end at 120. We'll have to wait and see where Cannons end up at. Obviously, Sagar, president of Cannons, sitting next to me, would want their team to bat through and make a score more than 150. But we'll have to wait and see if that happens. Absolutely, yeah.
another good ball from Akash. Cautiously played by Daksh. Daksh has been batting well, so He did hit a few shots in Shree's uh, over a few overs ago, but he's quietened down again after the fall of a couple of wickets. But Tausif, we know, doesn't stay quiet for long. That is nicely tickled down to the offside for a single. You can't keep Fahim quiet for long. He hits it big or he gets out. That's how he plays. Nicely played by Daksh. Down the ground again for a single. Daksh is planning for a long innings. So at the end of the 13th over, Halifax CCR 86 for 3. The past few matches we've seen here, the scores have been low. So probably we are looking at something around 140 or 150. Uh, Asking Sagar what would be a good first inning score for you. Yeah. So Sagar says about 150 would be defendable. So he feels confident that 150 would be a defendable score. Uh, the way they are going, they still have 7 wickets in hand. So probably they are in with a good chance to score another 65 to 70 runs and over. That will take them to 150. Shri is bowling well into his last over now. He has given away only 16 runs in his 3 overs. Daksh is going to face him. The field is well spread out now. Only 4 men saving the single. Everybody else is right on the boundary. Good ball by Shri. Daksh cautiously plays it to log off for a single. And now we see Fahim. What is he going to do? Is he going to go for broke here? And he does heave it across the line and gets a 4. He made that one into a full toss. It wasn't a really bad ball, but he went down on his knee, made it into a full toss, and hit it to the mid wicket boundary for a 1 bounce 4. It was a good shot. It was well timed. Didn't try to hit it really hard. Got the timing right, and the ball raced towards the boundary. Just a 1 bounce over the fence. Shri moving the fielder now a little bit squarer. Nicely punched away to the offside. They take a single. It's 92 for 3 in 13.3 overs. Daksh is on 39. Facing Shri and nicely plays it down the ground again. This is what Daksh has been doing for the last few overs. Trying to give the strike to Fahim now. 2 balls remaining for Shri in this spell. He's done a really good job so far. 23 runs for a wicket in 3.4 overs. He's bowled accurately, hasn't given away many runs. Down the wicket comes Fahim, and that's taken on the long off boundary. A really nice catch, low catch. It's nicely taken, and that's the end of Fahim. We only got to see one boundary from Fahim, and a really good catch, and Shri gets his second wicket. That one was nicely bowled. It wasn't really in the slot, but Fahim went for it anyway. It was a bit more fuller. That's why he couldn't get the elevation. And it was a really nice take at the boundary. Hardeep took a really nice catch at the boundary, going down low. Boundary catches are always hard to take. They are a little hard to judge. The ball is coming fast to you. It's high. He judged it to perfection. And HCC are now 93 for 4. Just one ball remaining in Shree's over. Zishan walks in. Zishan has had a very good season as well. He especially played well in the Dio Cup earlier this year and was also part of the squad that went to PEI for the Maritimes Cup. And the Maritimes Cup was won by NSCA. He's been batting quite well, and he also balls his slow right arm off spins. A very effective bowler. So the last ball of Shri is over. He wanted a wicket, but he ends his spell. A very good spell from Shri. Just 23 runs from it and 2 wickets. So he has set them up nicely after his spell. So you can see the scorecard now. It it will show up in just a moment. So Akash will continue. He's been bowling well so far as well. And Daksh does what Daksh does. Plays it to long off for another single. Zishan taking strike against Akash for the first time. He can hit it long when he wants to. He's a clever cricketer, Zishan is. Played it nicely towards the leg side for a single. Akash has done well so far. Third ball of his third over. Daksh again takes a single to long off. Daksh biding his time. He's well set now, so taking singles seems to be really easy for him. That was a little short. Zishan pulls it for a single. I believe Sandeep is down at the on the leg side. He feels the ball. 97 for 4. 5 overs to go after this one. If you look at 10 runs and over, they should get to 150. Nicely played by Daksh again. Are they going to come back for the second? Yes, they are. The throw comes in, but they are safe. Zishan is pretty fast, and so is Daksh between the wickets. So they take 2 runs easily. 99 for 4, just 1 run away from 100. HCC. Last ball of Akash's third over. He's done decently so far. 21 runs in 2.5 overs. He would like to finish it this over off strongly. Nicely bowled, very nicely bowled. Straight in the block hole, and there's a confusion in the middle. Fortunately, the batsmen decide against the single, and they're safe. End of Akash's third over. It's 99 for 4 after 15. A change of bowling from this end. Hardeep is coming on to ball. Sri giving him some tips. Seasoned campaigner Sri. Zishan will face him. So Zishan is going to face to Hardeep. 5 overs remaining. Nicely tapped away by Zishan for a single. Let's see how long this goes on. Eventually, Daksh or Zishan, one of them is going to decide to tee off. Let's see who goes first. Daksh is on 44, playing carefully so far. That was a short ball on off stump. Daksh takes a single. Normally, the batting team looks to about 16th over, and if they have wickets in hand, that is when they start opening up, going for their shots. So we are approaching the 16th over. That's a really nice shot by Zishan, but a good stop by Akash at the boundary. The batsmen go through for 2 runs. It was nicely played by Zishan. A full ball driven nicely by Zishan. In comes Deep again. Nicely played by Zishan for a single. I guess they are approaching the time when the batsmen will think about going for their boundaries. So far, both have been content to take singles. And Daksh goes for it this time. It's high in the air, but falls short of 2 fielders converging in. And they rush back for a second. Both batsmen are really fast between the wickets. Daksh scrambles back for a second. That was not a very nice shot. That can happen sometimes when you're caught between trying to play it safe, maybe waiting for the 16th, 17th over, but then getting the ball and trying to hit it. And this time, Daksh goes for it and goes high and long over mid wicket. That's his 50 as well. A very well played innings. He goes to 53 with that six. That was really nicely played. So after the poor shot on the previous ball, Daksh makes up for it with a huge six over mid wicket. So I'm joined here by Kazi, who is going to take over the commentary.
Press करूँगा? Oh, okay. Perfect. All right. All right. Thank you so much, Kuram Bhai, who has been umpiring the first game and then came on to uh, do the commentary on the second game. That shows his commitment towards this league and to the game. Off goes our previous commentator, Amit Joshi. He's just having some fun times here out in the sun from Halifax Commons. So after 16, Halifax Cannons 112 for 4. Um, Upendra, Analpudi Upendra, yeah, we have forwarded your message to Drona. He's sitting off the field right now. He definitely, you know, understood where he was going wrong while he was bowling those shorts. So yeah, hopefully if he's back for his fourth over, he'll try to bowl as you suggested him. All right, so from the far end, we have I think Satya bowling in. Yeah, Satya coming in for his third over. He has conceded 12 runs for 1 wicket. Um, there is a little bit of halt in the game there. I think Zishan is having needs a heat spray there. He's that's the betting card. Yeah, that's all right. There's some wind blowing here. The sun is out after a period of cloud cover there. It's warm. We have Zishan now all set to go back there. And now let's look at the bowling stats here. Titans bowler did a decent job so far in order to make sure things are quiet, but Daksh is holding on his ground from one end, trying to make sure he finishes it off till takes it off all the way to the 20th over, and we know his caliber, right? Once he goes off, he can hit big. That's a full ball to Daksh. He cut and it comes all the way to the boundary for a four on the third man region. So that's a misfield by Shri there. He was a little bit sloppy, but the ball was traveling fast as well. He sliced it hard there. Satya trying to adjust the fielding here right now, making sure that they don't leak any more runs here. That's a great bowl by Satya there. It was right on the block hole. Daksh, an experienced campaigner, made sure that he just tucked that away for a single, giving strike to Zishan. 118 for 4 after 16.3. Zishan goes for a big shot there. It's on the long off region. Sorry, long on. And he got caught by Akash there, who has a very safe pair of hands. So that's the fall of the fifth wicket. Zishan at 118 for 4 after 16.4 there. Uh, new batsman in, Matt Webb. Thank you, Shruti. I'll definitely pass that on to Daksh. He is definitely playing really well today, and he'll be crucial for HCC on this game here. He has to play all the way to the 20th over. We also have here a member of HCC team, a very experienced campaigner and member of the NSCA board, Dhruv Bhai. We'll hear his predictions on what he thinks is a good score that HCC can possibly defend.
Yeah, so I guess batting first on during the playoffs, it's always good to get a good score in and put the pressure on the bats on the opposing team here. So I would say somewhere around 140. Getting 140, I think our bowling attack is good enough to contain the explosiveness of some of the batsmen and the Titans team. But we still can't take them easy. I mean, they're still one of the best teams here. They won the DO Cup this year, just coming off fresh from the Division 2 win. So they're all pumped up and charged. So yeah, we should be a 140 score. I feel should give us a good bandwidth, to kind of hopefully get the win today.
Yeah, and what's the word around Dubai, around the team and the dugout, like coming on to this very important final, right?
I would say we've been playing well this season as a team, as a unit, right? So we have been having fun on and off the field. So that's kept us little, the pressure's been low on us. We are enjoying our times, and it shows in our performances this year. Like we've had everyone chipping in every game here and there. So it's not been one individual guy who's performed for us. It's been the whole team.
Yeah, and how about your batting? I saw some really nice shots yesterday.
Well, if I had to get one good innings in the season, right? So that was it yesterday.
Yeah, you were playing really good shots there.
Thank you about that, man. It's come on about time, I guess, and it was nice it, it was nice to get that done yesterday. So yeah, I was happy about that. So I guess now we have Akash coming back onto bowl, and I'm gonna give the speakers a headset back to Kazi, who's been doing an amazing job here. Thanks, Kazi.
Thank you so much, bro. All right, guys, that was Dhruv Bhai with some insights on from the HCC team. Um, as I said, he plays this game with a lot of passion. That's Daksh. He was trying to hit the ball on the leg, but he topped edged it. But he's quick on his feet. He's coming back the for the double here. Um, he's making sure that he takes HCC to a formidable total, which they'll be happy to defend. And as you heard from Dhruv Bhai, that HCC has been enjoying their season on and off the field. I see they have had their supporters in number. They have a lot of social gathering that they organize for the team. Beach days and things like that, which really sets the tone, I guess. When as a team, if you have to perform, you're playing a long season, 2, 3 months, you have to have that chemistry, I think, working on, which will be very important. So they have had, I think, a wonderful season. The Div 1, Div 2 team, both teams playing well. Div 1 securing the final spot straight from the league games. Uh, so yeah, so now I'll hand it over to Abdul Rahman, who's also playing his first season. A very passionate cricket lover. Daksh has stopped it. That's a catch missed by Danny. He missed a sitter there of Daksh. Will it cost the game for Halifax Titans here? It surely wasn't an easy catch. He had the sun against him. It's always a difficult chance, but I'll just hand it over to Abdul Rahman from here.
Hello, guys. Thank you, Kazi for handing it over to me. And I think that was a key catch dropped by Danny Bhai. Although he has been playing well, but Daksh is the set batsman. He needed to take that catch. And again, Akash bowling well, just for a single to Matt Webb. Matt Webb is a slobber. He can hit them long, so Akash really needs to keep his lines tight here. 150-ish would definitely be a good total, Shruti, as you said. Daksh has been playing very well, Unisa, and let's see how this over goes. Daksh tries to go down the ground. Both long on long off fielders trying to converge on it. Just goes for a single there. And Titans have to accelerate here. They have been building up their innings through singles and doubles and the occasional boundary, but they would be disappointed if they didn't get to a 150 here. Even though a 140 would still be a good score. Good tight bowling. Straight into the hands of Genu, who we also call the ball, since nothing passes through him. No ball given by the umpire. I think it free hit. Overstepping no ball by Akash, and Daksh is on strike. Let's see what happens here. It may be costly. Second no ball by Akash. First one was a height no ball above the waist. This one overstepping. Let's see how Daksh handles this. He's going around, and it's in the air. Fielder underneath it. Danny again. Let's see if he takes it. He drops it again. Dropped by Danny, and it's Daksh again, who has been dropped. Second chance for Daksh. He has been trying to go after the bowlers here, but unable to get anything off really. Great bowling by Akash. And it's 132 for 5 after 18 overs. Decent total. Will now pull up the batting card for the batting team. And as we can see, Daksh has been standing there. He's played the anchor innings for the team, taking singles, doubles, and Akash will pull back the score bar. Akash's 4-over spell is finished. Done for 32. New bowler in. It goes straight to long on. Akash there drops it again. Third drop catch in 2 overs for the Titans, and this will prove to be very costly for them. Whereas they started really nicely, now their fielding is starting to drop. They're becoming lackadaisical, and now let's see. Tux tries to go after it again, straight to long on, just for a single. And apologies, just a little technical difficulty in the score bar. It'll get fixed. Satya's bowling again, too long on. You can see the batsman really trying to go after it now. Unable to get anything off, really. Good bowling by the Titans, even though they have reached a decent total. Satya has bowled really well. His last over, 23 runs, 2 wickets. Brilliant bowling by Satya. Let's see what Daksh is able to do. A length ball on the offside, only able to pull it towards the fielder. Standing on mid wicket. And Matt Webb on strike again. He's gonna try and go after Satya here. They need to get a few boundaries. They do have wickets in hand. He's gonna try and go swing and a miss. Excellent bowling by Satya. Not letting the batsman get underneath the ball, keeping it outside their arc. And this is starting to build up frustration between both the batsmen. We're trying to get some boundaries, but to no avail. And Satya running in again. Almost in the block hole. Pretty much, I'd say, Yorker. An overthrow by the fielder that'll result in another run. And they cannot afford to give these overthrows away here, Titans. The pressure that they're building up can get released by these overthrows and misfields. And end of the over. Good over by Satya. 138 for 5 in 19 overs. That's good considering there haven't been many boundaries. They've bowled well for the most part, I'd say. Only thing is that Cannons have done a good job of rotating the strike, especially Daksh playing that anchor inning, 71 of 58, brilliant batting. Just rotating the strike, making sure there are no dot balls, and in the end, that's done them good. And we're gonna get Surfiroz now, perhaps the best bowler on Titans. He's gonna come back for his last over. 17 in 3 overs only. Let us know in the chat how you think the last over is gonna go. Do you think it's gonna go for a bunch, or do you think Surfroz has it on the lockdown? Let's see. Daksh scanning the field. There are one, two, three, four, 5 fielders outside the circle, so a fairly spread out field. He's gonna go first ball, right on the money, and gets the big man, gets Daksh. That's the wicket they wanted, and a brilliant start to the over by Surfiroz. He has been their best bowler and gets the man again. Brilliant bowling. Runs in, bowls a good length, and hits the wicket. You hit, I miss. That's what Daksh did. But new batsman in now. Jared Seifert. Matt and Jared on the crease. A really good start to the over by Surfiroz. You can see he's still adjusting his field. Still wants to give away no runs. And it's looking like to be a really good finish for Titans here. If they can somehow restrict them below 145, I would say they have done a very good job of bowling since At no stage in the match did it look like Cannons lost control, but they never quite got control as well. They weren't hitting the boundaries. They were taking good. There was a good rotation of strike, but they never quite got to the boundary stage. Now Surferos running in again. Jared on strike. Tries to heave it. And it passes through the wall. Chinu the wall. Misses one. That's a rear side. And just for a single. Good batting. Matt Webb back on strike. He's known to hit them big. He can hit them big. Surfers will have to be careful against him right now. He'll have to bowl intelligently. And right in the block hole. All he can do is guide it down to long on. And cut off by Gino the wall. Great bowling by Surferos. Intelligent bowling, accurate bowling. Not trying too hard, just putting it at the right place. Bowling according to his field, and it's been brilliant bowling by him. Oh, similar ball to the one Daksh got out on. Again, giving no length, keeping it outside his arc. This one just a little wider of the wicket, perhaps on the fourth to fifth stump. And good, great bowling by Sir Firoz, I must say. Two deliveries left. It's been a brilliant over. Only 2 runs off of it. Again, right in the block hole. All you can do is guide it down to the cover area. Just a single. Last ball of the over. Only 3 runs so far. Let's see how he finishes it off. Jared, I'm sorry, Matt on strike. Let's see how he finishes it off. Running in, last ball of the innings. Again, right in the block hole. Gets it, throws it. The keeper's coming in. And he gets the batsman comfortably. Great bowling by Sir Firoz. I must say, only 3 runs off the last over. What a brilliant finish to the innings for Titans. And despite their great bowling, you have to say that Cannons have gotten a good total here. A 141 total with their bowling lineup is a good total considering the fact that Titans' main batsman Nandu is carrying a shoulder injury. So let's see how they deal with this. It's a great finish, but at this stage, I would say it is 50-50. No clear favorites. Guys, let us know. What do you think? Is this a good total? Do you think the Titans can chase this? Let's also remember the fatigue factor. They have been playing 4 games straight, two yesterday, two today, and we did see the fatigue factor come in during their fielding.
चलने for 142 in their 20 overs if they have to win this first final, the best of three to go 1-0 up. All right, folks, we have Sri Anna from Halifax Titans here just to share some of his thoughts on how the batting conditions are and bowling conditions are, and he's the he's the top wicket taker in Division 1. So let's hear something from Sri Anna here.
Thank you, Kazi. Compared to yesterday, today the wicket is better, I would say. The conditions are really good, for batting. You could see the morning game also, they scored some good runs. And now also, the outfield was a little bit faster. It was not damp as yesterday, so it is a little bit faster. So now we need to build a bit of partnerships here, like the whoever goes the first wicket and then second wicket, they have to build some partnerships. And also we have to make use of that 6 hour power play because nobody will be there on the outside of the field, outside of the 30-yard circle. So they can throw like some big shots and then take more runs as more runs they can.
And what is the secret to your multi-talented, like you're standing umpire, you're a DJ in the house, you bowl well, leading wicket taker, you have got the dance moves. So tell us about it, Sri Anna. You got it all.
Thank you so much for the compliments, but yeah, like it's all for the team. Like the team is giving me the energy, and I'm using that energy, and then just taking that advantage, and then having some fun here. Um, you know, Regarding the DJ and the dance steps, I'm a classical dancer. Back home in India, learned for like almost 13 years. This is a Western move, so I bit mixed and then tried. So yeah. It's all the team energy. That's it.
All right, thank you, Sri Anna. Your energy for the team has proven really good. We see them enjoying their game, and thank you so much. Good luck on the first finals there.
Thank you so much, Kazi.
Thank you, Sri Anna. All right, folks, as you heard from Sri Anna there, he's a classical dancer as well. So it just getting added to his list. We'll try to get someone from HCC. I think they're all gearing up to for the fielding. They're doing some fielding drills. So yeah, as they said, like HCC has a very good bowling lineup, and Titans have a very good batting lineup. So the first 7 to 8 overs, including the power play, will be very crucial to decide which way the game swings. I'll get you the bowling card here as well. Um, Thank you for all who tuned in from their home. You see, there were some great bowling from Halifax Titans. Sherfaroz being, I think, their top bowler. 4 overs, 20 runs, 1 wicket with an economy of 4. All right, we have okay. We have Andrew from HCC. We'll have a quick word with him. Andrew, you can sit here. On if do you think how the batting conditions are, and keeping that in mind, also the weather, do you think you have enough score on the board to defend it?
Yeah, I think it's a good score. It's competitive. It's going to require a really good bowling and fielding effort. Um, the ball's not travelling off the bat. It's not travelling along the ground either. So it's harder to hit boundaries, but it's also harder to defend twos, as you saw out there. Lots of twos. Dutch is normally a very clean hitter who can score a lot of boundaries, and even a batsman of that standard struggled today. But I think the key is to just minimise the dot balls, minimise the extras, field with a lot of intensity, and if we make it really hard for them, it's going to be hard for a batting team to chase 140 under that sort of pressure.
Perfect. Thank you, Andrew. That's all I needed from you.
All
I
right.
know you're doing the fielding drills.
Yeah.
Good luck with the game.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah. All right, guys. That was Andrew. He's a key member of the ACC team. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, he just rushed in really quick for a quick interview there. In between the fielding drills there, I see the batsman for Titans getting ready. Looks like it's number 16, the Muscle Russell Hardeep, and Akash, who's also stretching himself up. So it's going to be a good face-off. The Titan teams, they're looking very relaxed. So is the HCC team there. So we'll have the game starting shortly.
So as you can see on the scorecard there, Daksh, uh, the top run scorer for HCC today, 71 of 59. That makes him the highest run scorer in the league in Division One. There were some few other like Andrew and Glenn played a really good innings, and all the other batsmen they went for like a single digit score. Possibly if anybody would have taken the charge from there, they could have had a much better score than 141. But still, it's not bad. They have a very formidable bowling side. All right, so people who are still tuning in, give your prediction on the comment section. Who do you think are gonna win? What do you think? I see there's a lot of supporter Titans and HCC supporter here, mostly Titans. Um, so yeah, HCC supporters are well in number on the field here. They have a family barbecue going on, which shows that how well connected they are as a team. That shows, which is reflecting on their performance as well. And as you said, batting is not easy. The ball doesn't travel a lot. It's much better than yesterday, but also like the outfield doesn't do help the batsman a lot. So you have to play with a lot of power. Thank you, Viren. You have been very active on the comments, which makes it this game, this live streaming that we are working on, um, very interactive. All right, with that, I see the HCC team on the field. All right. Um, and I see the Titans batsman walking out. As I told you earlier, it's number 16 Hardeep. And yeah, and Akash there. All right, guys. So Jared from the pavilion end bowling his first ball to Akash, who is a handy off spinner, and now comes to open the batting for Titans. This is going to be a very interesting face-off here. Jared running in, bowling into his thigh area. Akash just taps it for a single, bringing Hardeep on strike. All right, Hardeep taking his guard. Yeah, it's a right-hand left-hand combination. Akash, left-handed batsman. Hardeep, right-handed, very explosive batsman. And I think I was speaking to Vishal yesterday, and he said he's a very natural player. He doesn't change his game. Uh, Jared almost got him through. That didn't bounce as he expected. It kept low. Hardeep was struggling. Had it been on the wicket, he was gone. I think, yeah, he has to sort of first couple of overs he has to watch out um, the ball's movement. All right, that's another good ball from Jared to Hardeep. There was a fielding fumble.
on point, and that led them to take a single there, bringing Akash on strike. All right, Jared bowling that down the leg for a wide. All right, I see a lot of support for Titans there, and some of the Titan fans think they're gonna win this. Obviously, you have to wish the best for them, and they have been playing well. That's a call there for caught behind, but the standing umpire Kiran from the pavilion end wasn't interested. I think Jared is getting some movement with the ball that I think moved away from Akash. He had his full face of the bat open, but that just he was beaten by Jared there. Akash opens the face again, and it's in for a single. Yeah. So yeah, he's so Jared is getting some movement. He's in swinging the ball to the righty here, to Hardeep, and he's out swinging it. It's going away from the left-hander. Oh, he beats Hardeep again. Hardeep wanted to just cut it for single most likely, but he was completely beaten by that. So Halifax Titans fours after no loss of wicket after the first over. I'll hand it over to Abdul Rahman and I'll be back after over again.
So guys, back again. Good bowling by Jared at the start. He's getting the movement from the new ball, extracting movement from the new ball. That's what you want with your new bowler in the starting overs. Getting in swing to the right hander and out swing to the left. That's why Hardeep missed that first one that nearly almost kissed the wicket. But now let's see. It seems like Daksh, after playing that incredible anchor innings throughout the whole match, is now coming into bowl seemingly. And they're gonna go with the fast bowler spinner combination. Good choice, I'd say, from the Cannons. Let's see how Daksh fares. He is one of the top wicket takers in Division 1 this year, so he has always delivered. Let's see how he deals with the left hand right hand combination that the Titans have put forward. A good choice, I'd say, on their end. 4 runs of the first over, and Daksh coming into bowl. Akash, leg spinner. Daksh, shorter first ball, goes down the leg side, and it's gonna go for a wide. They're gonna run hard for the second, and they'll get back. So Daksh starting off with a wide, nothing too much to worry about. A very experienced, a very seasoned campaigner, knows what he's doing, and Daksh gonna reset for the first ball and stops in his run up, dead ball. Daksh will try that one again. Fuller ball on the off, and that's better. Getting the ball to spin towards inside, towards the left-hander, and Fuller run off. That's a good ball missed by Akash. Oh, again, similar line in length. Akash unable to get the ball. He's in two minds about cutting the ball or playing it straight, and missing the ball. Daksh with a good comeback. Let's see how Akash fares on the third one. Again, Fuller towards the leg side and just flicks it. Hardeep out of his crease, thrown to the wrong end. And that was an opportunity to get the big man, Hardeep, thrown to the wrong end, though, towards the keeper end. Should have been thrown towards the bowler's end, but they missed that one. Let's see. Daksh bowling well, coming back well from that, and just a block. A good ball. Daksh bowling a tight line here. Good ball by Daksh. Again beaten outside his bat. This is the third time in the over that Daksh has beaten Akash, and now Akash feeling the pressure. Hardeep walking down the wicket to give some words of wisdom to Akash. Let's see how he fares after that. Akash has come back well after bowling a wide at the start of the over. And similar ball again down the leg side, and they're gonna go for a single. Wide ball, extracting good bounce from the pitch. Daksh bowling a bit on the shorter side. Hardeep on the strike now. Hardeep taking his guard against Daksh. I believe he hasn't faced a single ball from Daksh. And just one fielder outside the circle on long off. He's gonna bowl down, ball, brilliant ball. Again, the middle to off line spinning away from the batsman. The batsman misses, and I will be handing this over to Amit Joshi for this over.
Sorry. So all this time I've been speaking, the headphone was on mute. So the commentary obviously was live, but we didn't realize the headphones were on mute. Apol- Apologize for the inconvenience there, fellas. Titans are now 17 for no loss after the end of 3 overs. Uh, a good over by Jared turned out to be a few extras in the end, two wides and a no ball, and a no ball free hit resulting in 2 runs. So Titans actually off to a decent start here, despite a good over from Daksh. Daksh is back into the attack against Akash now, and oh, a very nice tap there onto the mid wicket, a close single. Oh, and that is a run out. Beautiful fielding there by Abhi, one of the quickest fielders, and he gets Hardeep run out there. Huge, huge loss there for Titans with Hardeep run out. That was a cheeky single, tapped straight to the fielder, and Abhi just running in and throwing the ball in no time, and Steve Smith knocking the bails off and taking the big crucial breakthrough of Hardeep. The danger of Hardeep is run out, unfortunately, and is walking back in despair. He throws his gloves off and is still not able to believe, even after the dive, that he was not able to make it. In walks the Dinesh Gaddam from Titans, one of their premier batsmen who ensured the Div 2 team won the Div 2 trophy, courtesy Dinesh Gaddam. After two 50s, back to back 50s, Dinesh will be now, has a task in his hand to get the Titans innings, you know, after their decent start. And there's some intense music being played by Shri. So Daksh versus Danny here. We're looking forward to this battle. It will be safe to say if Danny and Akash are able to play Daksh out here, because Daksh is obviously one of the premier bowlers at Cannons, and they'll be looking for him to get another wicket here. But let's see, Danny is in prime form. Will be very interesting to see. Oh, that was a great ball outside off, spinning away. Danny tried to cut it and misses it. So have to wait and see. This is a very interesting battle going on here. Oh, another ball. He cuts it straight to the fielder. Goes to Glenn, throws it back to Steve Smith. Back to the bowler. Good pressure being put on here by Daksh, showing his experience. Only giving away 5 runs in extras. No runs from the bat of Daksh yet. Oh, that is out of the ground there. Short ball, and Danny goes in the back and hits a huge six. The ball literally traveled onto the Roby. The umpire is signaling a boundary there, which is. Yeah, the umpire is just signaling a boundary here. We all thought it was a six. So I think we are waiting on a final decision from the umpire here. Is it a four? Oh, so it was a four, not a six. It looked like it was going far and out, but still a boundary nevertheless. So good start there by Danny. Oh, Bowles comes back and bowls a beautiful leg spin ball on the off stump, spinning away completely beaten. That's bowling a tight line here, ends the over with another dot ball. After the end of 4 overs, Titans are 21 after the loss of 1 wicket. Jared's back into bowl. be bowling his third over, sorry. Cannons on their fifth over. I would say it's a mixed start. I wouldn't say it's a good start. Uh, the loss of Hardeep wicket is a big loss for. I would say the first 4 overs went in favor of the Cannons. If they were to make 21 for no loss after the end of four, I would say would have been a Titan start. But that run out really cost them uh, the power play. There's still about an over and a half left in this. Um, Jared's back to his original length and line, bowling straight on the stump. If he continues to do that, it will be hard for Akash to score off him. That's another good ball. Oh, and he tries for a single and runs away. Direct hit right on the stump by Grant. Good cricket. Runs back to chase the ball, and it's a dot ball. Akash is trying to sneak in some singles here. Some of them are not on offer. Danny refused the single right away because the ball went straight in the hand, and that was a good call because the ball was hit directly on the stump. That would have been out. Oh, and he knocks him off. Clean bowled. So after playing 14 balls, Akash is bowled for three. Needless to say, extremely disappointed. He played out the good balls, played out 2 overs, and then got bowled. So puts a lot of pressure on the batsman when you actually in power play 2 overs and don't score. And now we see Harsha walking down to support Danny in what will be a very, very exciting chase here in Div1 finals, Cannons versus Titans. Jared coming back and bowling well. He's his umpire just checking on how many balls are left on the radio. We obviously have this amazing technology here with NSCA. Scoring is all done on the iPad with direct link to check the live scores. We have the live streaming on YouTube. The umpires have radios, as we like to use the technology. It's a good ball there, straight on the stumps, defended by Harsha, who's actually in really good form coming into this game. Most of his form is in Div 2 games though. Hasn't played a whole lot of Div 1 games, but then has the capacity to play the long innings and bring it in for Titans. So this is now a very good start for Cannons. And last ball of the over. Oh, that was a good ball. Good length and a fast ball. Danny got beaten, tried to cut, and after the end of 5 overs, Titans is 22 for the loss of 2 wickets. Again, in power play, you need boundary hitters because after the 6 overs, it's the field is spread. You have 5 fielders outside, and it becomes very very hard to hit. Uh, the ball as it is not coming onto the bat, so run making is not that easy. Daksh has been replaced by looks like Sagar. Sagar, who just came from India after a long, long, long stay there. He went in December, got married, and wanted to come back in March. Obviously, the pandemic hit, and he was stuck in India. Just made his way back in August, and now back in Cannons. Bowling in the fifth over for him. Bowls a short ball. Harsha cuts it over the point. Ball is going over to the boundary, but is stopped by Z, who throws it back, and the batsmen are able to take 2 runs. So Harsha, oh, Kazi. Okay, that was another short ball cut over covers, and there another two. Sagar's off to a. Sorry. Okay, that's a no ball and is missed by Steve off the pitch. And batsmen run one. So that's 6 runs off 2 balls. Sagar is off to a rough start here, and Titans would hope he continues that, whereas Cannons will be hoping that he brings his line back and bowls a good line here. That's another good shot there by Danny, showing his experience and his form, cutting the ball and tapping a nice single. When you have already got 6 runs of the first 2 balls, there is not a need for a boundary in that over. A good batsman would just tap it for a single. Oh, Harsha hits that straight to the. Oh, he actually hits a six. Oh boy, where did that come from, Harsha? All of a sudden, short ball. Harsha goes in the back and just smashes one outside off for a six. That looked like just a gentle tap, but the power he used to generate that shot took the ball all over, and it's a big six. And Titans now are at 35 after the loss of 2 wickets in 5.4. Still 2 balls remaining. This has been a very expensive over so far. Next ball, he bowls his short again outside the pitch. Is a no ball, and is frustrated that why is he not able to bowl on the line. But that's what, you know, oh, another short ball. Well, bowled by him finally. Harsha misses. He's upset that he missed that ball. Steve Smith appeals for a stumping. Batsman never left the crease. Kiran asks him to put the bails back. Last ball of the over, and Harsha just taps it, tries for a single. Is being denied by Danny, and is back on strike. So now Titans are off to a decent start after that over. All it takes is one over. So they are 36 after the loss of 2 wickets in 6 overs. The power play is done. This is where now Titans will have to bat smart. Look for the occasional boundary, take the singles and the doubles, and also make sure the run rate is up to the mark. They need another 100 runs, or 104. Sorry, they need 106 of 84 balls, which is very, very doable in a T20. Just the batsmen have to stay and make sure they don't get contained by the bowlers. So the game is here. It's really a game. It's a chess game that's going on here. Uh, okay, so Jared's back on bowling his fourth over and bowls a short ball over the head of Danny, and is and that is a no ball because of the bowler actually hitting the stumps, and he gets a free hit now. And we'll wait for this ball here. So we were just waiting for this free hit, and then I'll answer your question, Mr. Reddy. Uh, Free hit to Danny, and he lets it go. Is it a white ball? Yeah, it is a white ball. So still a free hit. Can you ask if it's a free hit in radio? He didn't signal. So, Mr. Reddy, you're asking us to get a better camera. Appreciate your feedback. You know, oh, next ball for the free hit, and Danny smashes it for the boundary in mid wicket. So, making the most of the free hit. Jared is upset. He kicks on the floor, and with that, the score moves to 38, 42, sorry, in after the boundary. So, with regards to the camera, we bought this camera just to try out live streaming. We went and upgraded the camera as well. Unfortunately, the light here is like it hits on the ground and the sun hits sometimes, so the clarity can't be good. The other issue is we are also a provincial sport organization, non for profit, a sport organization. Obviously, funding is always an issue. So we are always looking for sponsors and stuff. Hoping next year we are able to get a sponsor who will be able to, sponsor the live stream, and in that time we are able to invest in a better camera. Currently, all the equipment that's being used, uh, is obviously courtesy all the volunteers. They use their own laptop. They use their own, you know, camera, the battery packs. Everything is volunteer donated. So that's what makes this cricket exciting here and supportive. We all collaborate here and make this a success. Harsha smashes one outside the point and smokes it for a four in the meantime. So Harsha looking in really good form and continuing his success from the Div 2, and already has hit two boundaries there and six and a boundary. So he's looking in good form. And Jared now bowls a short ball outside off, is a wide. So his teammates are cheering him up, asking him to bowl well. It's his last over. Jared looks a bit flustered right now in this over. The fourth ball here. He bowls a short ball to Harsha, who taps it. And to the third man, the ball is racing to the boundary, but is stopped by Grant, who throws it back to Steve, keeper, and they run two in there. With that, the Titans are now 50. Their 50 is up in 6.5 overs. 6.4. Still two balls left, and this is already turning out to be a bad over. He does that again there, and Grant misses it. And Harsha is running back there for two. Excellent cricket there by Harsha there. And not so good cricket by Cannons. Bowling a short ball and then misfielding back to back. This will put a lot of pressure on the bowlers that are now going into to bowl with the low score that they are defending. Last ball of the over, he bowls another short ball and Harsha misses. And it is finally an over. So after a 9 ball over, this over is finally done, and Titans are now looking into a driver's seat at 52 for two after the loss of 9 overs. Titans think tank looking at it there at their options. Webby, I think, bringing in Sagar again into the attack. Looks like Daksh and Fahim, the experienced players, go into Webby and say, and they're asking that. Apparently, there was some discussion amongst the Cannons think tank, and it was decided that Sagar will continue to bowl. That ball is outside the pitch, no ball, and Steve Smith misses it, and they easily take a single. So the over has not even started, and they've already given 2 runs. This is poor bowling by Cannons here, I must say. They had really contained with Daksh and Jared, and last over of Daksh and Sagar's over so far, really not been effective. Really not working out for them. And tough conditions to bat on, but giving away wides and short balls and loose balls has not helped their cause at all. Taps it, gives it to the single, tight run, direct hit, and that is gone. That is a fantastic throw there by Shadab, who hits it right in the middle and gets the batsman run out. Oh my God, Harsha is devastated. He's like, why did I take that single? He is livid with himself right now, shaking and wondering what just happened there. There was no need for the single there of the hand, but decided to take it, and unfortunately saw the stumps getting knocked off and him being short of the crease. And umpire was in a perfect position to give that. Look short, and as I said, Harsha is devastated and walking back in despair, kicking the bat on the ground after such a good batting. After batting 19, making 19 in 13 balls, he's walking back. The good old Harsha that we know of, who always smiles, is currently so disappointed, and he is livid with himself. And the Titans contingent have asking him if he was out, and he says yes, he was, and he didn't know why he ran. But that's how your instincts are. They ask you to do something, you do it. Happens in the moment of the game. Oh, next ball to Danny. Danny taps it and tries for a single, and Anil refuses the single there. Glenn fields and throws it back, and after a wicket, oh, that is a straight catch onto Daksh, who takes it, and that is a huge wicket of Danny, who tries to slog one on long on and gives it straight to Daksh, who never drops catch. And with that is a huge, huge loss for Titans. The Danny we know of, who ensured that the Div 2 Titans team wins the title. Back to back 50s, is now walking back in despair and disbelief. There's still hope. And pardon my ignorance, I said Anil refused the single. It was actually Nandu. Anil is now walking into crease to give company to Nandu. Nandu, as we know, is not 100% today. He's nursing a shoulder injury, but kudos to his passion and his sportsman spirit that he still decided to bat with an injured shoulder. Doctors had advised him to not play. He couldn't even lift his shoulder a couple of days ago, but he will now be batting. You know, he batted yesterday as well, made 16 runs in a lot of pain, but he made sure he batted through and you know gave Titans the middle order. Nandu has been a prolific batsman this year for Titans, one of the top scorers and one of the best techniques in the league here. Very calm and composed, knocks the balls around, takes the singles, plays all around the wicket, hits the odd boundary here and there. He's a complete batsman. Dominated the provincials this year. Nandu was the MVP in Maritime Championships. He was the MVP when Moncton came here. He literally single-handedly was the best batsman that NSCA had. Sagar just bowled a wide to Anil. Score slightly trickling along, but the loss of 2 wickets are really gonna hurt Cannons or Titans. Sorry, I mean Cannons look charged up. They're charging on the field, grabbing it and fielding. So Sorry, we are having some technical issues. Hey, just wait. Kiran, can you hold on? There's some scoring issues here.